Hey guys, Jack here, and starting off the part two to the who's the next, the guy, second year quarterback who's gonna, explode in prices and just in general in the hobby. Uh, I was ended off on Drew Lock. I should show this. I have one Drew Lock card, Prism rookie I got for $5 at a show, which I'm gonna send a PSA. I was saying Locke had 4-1 as a starter, which is great, especially for Broncos team. Before him was having a terrible year, and their offense was awful. The only bright spot they had, Lindsey was having a down second year. It wasn't terrible, but he was not what he was for rookie year. And Cortland Sutton was having a good year, but that was it. He had a 64% completion percentage, 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, 3 picks. So, he was good. Let's look at this. After those first two games, people were going crazy for Locke. The Chargers in Houston, and people were like, wow. And I was too. I thought, wow, that's crazy. Especially that game against Houston, people were shocked because, Houston's a good team. And he took like a 30-point lead against them, I believe, at one point. And it was insane. And then against the Kansas City Chiefs, he had a bit of a rough game. 45% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns. 200 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 pick. And they took a bad loss. And people were like, okay, Drew Lock, he was hot. This is probably more like it. Then he came to get back against Detroit and won, and had a good game. 75% completion percentage, 192 yards, a touchdown, and then came right back at it against Oakland with another win, and a game that Oakland needed to win to have a chance at making the playoffs. And then he had a 60% completion percentage, 177 yards, a touchdown, and Drew Lock was very impressive this year. Very, very impressive when he played. I think this kid could be the real deal, honestly. I think the Denver Broncos might have found a quarterback. But look at his Prism Silvers. She pulled one of these right before he got named starter. Sold it for like $70. They went up to like 120 at one point. Then they back down, selling around 75 to 80-ish. No, okay. They're under 100 though. They're probably around $80. I don't know if he'll be, because he's not, super, super athletic guy. He's got a good arm, and he's a good decision maker. He's accurate. I don't know if he'll be the next guy. I think he's a good investment target over this offseason, especially if those things can drop to like $50 maybe. I think that's definitely a great price for Drew Lock. I think Denver might have a chance at, some success next year with him. And, yeah. So, just getting to our last guy real quick, and then I'll tell you my final analysis. This video will be much shorter than part 1. Let's get into... I can exit these out. Let's get into Gardner Minshew. So, Minshew, as we know, was a 6th-round pick for the Jaguars. Took the starting spot from Nick Foles. Well, no, he took the starting spot from Nick Foles when Nick Foles got hurt. And then, Foles came back from injury. Minshew got benched. But then Minshew got named the starter again. He was 6-6 as a starter 6-6 this year as a starter. He 60.6% completion percentage. My goodness. 32, nearly 3,300 yards. 21 touchdowns, 6 picks. Doesn't throw a lot of picks, but one thing we do know about Minshew, he fumbles a ton. Let's look at his fumbles here. We got 3, 1, 3. These are times fumbled, not fumbles lost, just fumbles. 1, 1, 2, 1. After being renamed the starter, his fumbles were definitely down. Only had 2 after in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games after being renamed the starter. So that's good. So early in the year, people was going crazy for him, and he was doing okay. Had some good games in there. One thing about Minshew is he's a great playmaker, and he's good at extending plays, especially with he got sacked consistently, like around 2 to 3 times a game for most of the season on average, but definitely could have been a lot more. And he was just a great playmaker, very electric and exciting. He's an accurate guy. His completion percentage, looking from early in the year, I think he took me by surprise. And then he cooled down. He cooled down. He definitely did. Had a couple bad games, especially that game against Houston in London, I believe that was. And then he got benched right after that. And once he came back, he wasn't as electric, but he was still a good quarter. He was still good. And Minshew doesn't have the strongest arm. He's good. He's a good decision with the football, but he just holds on to the ball sometimes a little too long, and that's his biggest downfall. Let's look at his prices real quick. $40. Best offers from $40, $30. About $30 a Prism Silver, and I think he's a great investment. I think that he could next year have an absolute great year and be an electric quarterback. But the only problem is, how does Jacksonville feel about him? And Jacksonville will have a new head coach. He might come in and see, hey, he's a 6th-round pick. We don't really need him. Maybe Nick Foles. Let's give him another chance. He's won a Super Bowl, making a lot of money. Maybe they draft someone. I have no clue, honestly. I am going to be very intrigued to see what happens with the situation. So, in conclusion, I think the best chance to be the next guy is a tie, honestly, between Dwayne Haskins and Kyler Murray. See, I think Kyler Murray has a slightly better chance to be the guy, but it kind of depends on how. The problem is, though, Kyler Murray's prices are so much higher than Dwayne Haskins. Haskins is at around $30, around $35. Kyler's at close, just under $150. It's crazy, the price difference. I think that I'd probably in this season invest a good amount in Haskins, especially especially once we find out who the new GM and head coach are going to be. I think Haskins is a great investment. I think that especially, and a lot of these guys are probably going to drop. I think Murray's a fine investment. I personally am probably going to invest in some Murray, not silvers, maybe some cheaper colors, maybe some base. I think that Jones is, a safe investment. I don't think there's a chance that he goes down, really. But I don't think he's going to go up. I really don't think he'll go up. I don't think he'll be the guy. I take it back. I think he might go up a little bit, but I don't think he'll be that guy. Greer and Stidham, if you want to just invest in them cheap, hoping that they get named starters next year and have a good game or two, But I don't think either of those guys are going to be the guy. Locke, I think Locke could. I really think Locke could. And Minshew, I think it all depends on who they bring in and how they feel about him. Because he might not even be the starter next year. We don't know. So yeah, the top 3 guys I think are Kyler, Locke, and Haskins. And I think Haskins is the best buy right now. Then Locke, and then Kyler. So that's my final thoughts on this, guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any opinions, please, I'd really like to hear your opinions on this. I know it's going to be a long video with the 2 parts together, close to half an hour. But I really want to hear your opinions in who you're buying, who you're not, why not, and then we can have a good discussion about this. And a year from now, we'll find out. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, maybe one of you guys will be right, maybe none of us are right, maybe there'll be no one that has that kind of a jump. I don't know. But yeah, that's it, guys. I'm out.